So here we have our platform that will light up when we step on it. You can control how fast this will light up by moving a keyframe in our timeline. Maybe we change the name of our timeline. So in details panel, let's call it brightness timeline. Okay, let's say we will change time to 4 seconds. So now, when we step on it, we see it's working much slower. Okay, so maybe our user wants to have some delay before it will start to light up. So it's very easy in Unreal. Just make a delay here. Okay, 2 seconds. I have some bad feelings about the if player will get here, start playing the brightness timeline and get out immediately, and so the function will call to put it back, but after 2 seconds later we will start our timeline. So the user get into the platform and the delay starts to waiting, and now our user immediately gets out. So we reverse it to black. Then when the user is out of the platform, our brightness starts to change, and it's too late to reverse it because going back to black is made when the user step out, but user is not on the platform currently. Let's say what you see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So I think the easiest way to do it is to add the same delay to the on and overlap. So now user step on the platform, the delay starts to wait in, but then users 1 second later our user step out from the platform and this delay starts to waiting. So in the second 2, 1 second later, this delay ends waiting, it starts to playing, but while later this starts playing and reverse it back. So it's now should be a little better. We can see there's a little pulse. It's going back to black. It's not, I don't like it, so maybe change it. We will use a gate. A gate is a simple node that says, hey, if the gate is open and we don't want to start closed, or maybe, I don't know, if the gate is open you can go through it. So if it would be open, it's just working normally, but if we close it, then you cannot go through it. It's closed. It's cancel everything that comes through it. Okay, so before delay we want to open our gate. So hey, the player just went to the platform, let's open the gate. So let's do a sequence here, and we want sequence is a node that may do few things in the order. So first we want to open the gate, so and then when the gate is open we want to wait for 2 seconds and go through the gate. So now it should work every time, because hey, we always open the gate before we go for it, yeah? But when the player will came out from the platform, let's do a sequence again. The first thing we want to do, we want to say, hey, don't light up the platform, don't start to light it up, because the player just get out from platform. So we close the gate. So now if we step back and this delay is still waiting and it just ended when we are not on the platform, it hits the doors of closed gate and do nothing. And after we close the door, we want to say, hey, reverse it. We want it back black. I will double click on the on this spaghetti thing line, so I can make it nicer, put it into place. Okay, so let's see if our bug is fixed. I don't see it moving. Okay, moving, yeah, lightening up. So let's sit on it. Okay, it's working. But if we get on it and get out, it does not light up. But still, if we get on it and wait for these 2 seconds, the gate will be still open because it's only closed when we get out of the platform. So yeah, okay, now we have a delay and it's working nicely. The second thing we want to do is a moving like an elevator. So after our brightness timeline ends, so when it's finished, we will want to play another timeline that will move our platform up. So we want to, and let's say if we are playing brightness timeline forward, so it's now glowing on the full brightness, we want our elevator to go up. But if our timeline ended and now our brightness is 0, so the player get out from the platform, I guess we want it to move down. So brightness, let's say we want direction and type select, no select, switch. Okay, and if we finished, and here, this is the code that we can do when our timeline is ended while moving forward. So here is it when the brightness is maximum, and here when the brightness is 0. Okay, so let's add timeline. Let's go with elevating timeline, and we want to start elevating the elevator when it's growing, when the player is staying on it, and if player get out from it, we want it to reverse it, so it will be go down. Second thing we want to do is a variable that will say our elevator how high should it go. So let's create new elevator and call it height. The type should be a float value, it's a number, and let's check it as an editable and expose on spawn. Okay, expose on spawn is not necessary yet, just editable. Okay, and now you can see we in the details panel in editor we can set our height here. So let's get it moving in the next part.